good gouge. Got a real big problem with that. There's something big crashing around in the woods. Get out of here! We got real bad here, real fast. Oh, no freaking cloud at all. It's mid-September and I'm heading out on my longest solo trip yet. 12 days in the Northern Ontario wilderness. I'll be tackling a seldom traveled route with plenty of long, tough portages. While it could be rushed in under a week, I'm taking my time to fish and explore the more remote lakes along the way. Well, I just headed out and I don't have too far to go on this lake before my first portage. I'm just coming up on it here. It's around 600 meters, 700 meters. And I've got a few pond hops after this, so not too much paddling and a lot of portaging. Holy cow. I wonder what happened to this poor guy. Little coyote. I think it's a coyote. Poor guy. He doesn't look like he was attacked or anything, so maybe just died of natural causes. I don't know. He's still in pretty good shape. Weird. It's always a headwind. It never fails. This little creek here, I believe, is a portage. So we'll see how far I can make it down this. Oh, so far not very far. I'm going to have to unload and drag everything over to the portage. Yeah, this is just one big floating mat. So hopefully I don't go through it. This is a long, narrow lake, almost looks like a river, called Crazy Lake, I think, unofficially. And it's stocked with brookies. And I've got a lift over, I think, on this lake, and then one more portage until my final lake for the day. Not sure if I'm going to make it before dark at 6:15. And I couldn't resist, so I put the fly rod together, and I'm going to troll on my way there. This lake is so interesting. There's so many islands on it, even though it's just this small, narrow lake, and it's just full of rock. All the shore is complete rock. I wouldn't mind actually spending some time on this lake. Well, last portage of the night, and it's another boggy one. Literally through this completely dried up little creek. have to portage the rest of the way. Too heavy. It's after 8 now, so the sun's down. I've already taken one load to the other end of the portage. Got about 600 meters left with the canoe. As long as I don't fall flat on my face on the portage in the dark, I should be good. Well, I made the end of the portage. No worse for wear. And I think my campsite is straight ahead on the opposite shore. So not a long paddle. Well, I'm pretty exhausted. Just sitting here delaying camp chores. That was a long day. Started around 5:30 a.m., drove 7 hours. It was pretty much non-stop. So some of the lakes in this area are stocked and some have wild trout. This one is a stocked lake. There's also a stocked splake lake in that direction. I've never had splake to eat actually, and I thought I'd catch one and have a splake dinner tonight. Last night I saw both crayfish, which this is sort of a rough imitation of. And then also I saw leeches last night. And so I've also got a leech pattern. It looks like a drowned rat right now, but it definitely moves a lot like a leech in the water. So anyway, yeah, leeches and crayfish, that's what's in here. So that's what I'm gonna try. It was reading about 68.5 in the water, which is pretty warm. I mean, that's just the first couple inches of the water, but still you'd want it quite a bit colder, I think. So I'm probably gonna have to get down a little bit deeper. I'm just at the end of this lake here. I'm looking around for the portage and there's a trail. And I put my canoe on my back and I started down the trail, and after about 10 meters it disappeared. Alright, over to the other side. I think I can faintly make out, yeah, a little bit of a path through these grasses. Yeah, this looks promising. This is definitely a portage. Well, I wasted too much time fishing on the first lake because I only had about an hour when I got here, and it's already 7:20 and I still need to portage out of here. I don't really want to be portaging in the dark again. But yeah, it probably will be dark when I'm done it. And it will probably also be a quick dinner tonight because I was hoping to have fish and I didn't get any. Well, that was a good move. So I said I was having a cold granola breakfast. So I poured cold water in here and I was mixing it up, and then I realized there's an M on the bag. The M means maple, as for maple and brown sugar. So this is actually not granola, this is actually oatmeal. So basically runny cold oatmeal for breakfast. So this loop is very seldomly paddled, I believe. And it's sort of unique in Ontario because it has a mix of wild brook trout, lake trout, which is not super uncommon, but rainbow trout as well, like resident rainbow trout in the lakes. Kevin Kellen wrote about this route in one of his books. The book I have is the 60 Top Routes of Ontario or something like that. And yeah, I suspect the reason more people don't travel it is just the long and tedious portages. Anybody home? I like your house. Can I drag this? Yeah, I think I can. I think there's an opening in the middle. Maybe if I get some speed. No, I can't get through. Oh. That was our last lift over that I'm aware of. But yeah, that is not a fun section of river to go through. There's just no water at all. In spring, I'm sure it'd be a whole different story, much easier, but not great in the fall. I'm out onto the big lake now, or a big lake at least, out of that swampy stuff. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm paddling into a headwind again. Oh, that's good. Can't believe it's mid-September. Like I'm sweating out here in a t-shirt. So just in the middle of the portage here, there was a downed tree over there. I need to go clear it. And I was just walking back to cut it and I noticed some logs here, like an old cabin. What a strange spot for a cabin. Like really old. Well, it wouldn't be a portage on this route without skirting some kind of beaver pond or marsh. Well, I underestimated that 1.2k portage. I'm not sure why I thought it would only take me an hour. I checked my trip notes and I estimated an hour and 40 minutes. That was pretty much exactly that. And it's really just a warm-up for the next two portages, which I'm not doing today, but the next one is 2k and the one after that is about 3k. This is where the campsite was marked on my map. So if there is a campsite, it's obviously going to be accessed from the other side. You'd have to scale this rock to get up there. and I don't feel like doing that. So I guess back to the other campsite. And I think it is directly across the lake. We made it to camp, and it's not too bad. Nice big rock point here. Some trash, unfortunately. And there's a trail leading over to the other point. I think that's where I'm going to hang my hammock. Really cool moon tonight. I just watched it rise from underneath the trees to where it is now in a matter of like 5 or 10 minutes. Kind of like last night, I'm probably just going to do wraps again. I was going to do pizzas, but I don't really feel like cooking and cleaning up in the dark. So we'll save that for tomorrow night. And hopefully the wind dies down tomorrow and we can get out on the lake and do some fishing and exploring. Had a great sleep last night, and I'm just out before breakfast this morning doing a little fishing. And I left my intermediate sink line on. I was trying it on the other lake because I wasn't finding fish with the sinking line, but I still think the fish are deeper, so going to switch that up. Pull off the spool, and I've got a second spool which has my full sink line. Got a fish here, finally. I lost another one, and then just got this one. It feels pretty good. Oh yeah. Lots of head shakes. Oh, brookie. A nice brookie. Wow. Don't want him to jump and spit that. There we go. Nice. And the fly's out. Yeah, I switched up to just a super flashy articulated fly and I seem to like that. Beautiful brookie. Look at that guy. Thanks, bud. There you go. Well, I think the wind just dictated the end of my fishing. It's really kicked up again and I can't control the boat at all. Like, it just spins me around. so I'm going to be at its mercy and let it drift me back to my campsite. Yeah, it's been really, really windy the last couple of days. How's it going?
Didn't expect to see anybody back here.
I haven't seen anyone in days. Well, that was interesting. I was just making some late breakfast and I turned around and there was a canoe 20 feet from my campsite. It was two guys, I think their names were Josh and Chris, super nice guys. So we chatted for a bit and I felt kind of bad because there's not really any other good campsites on this lake. I told them they could stay here if they can't find another place to stay, but I have a feeling they'll find something. Anyway, that was very surprising. I already took another piece of wood out that had some nails in it, and here's another one. I think I'm going to put it to use rather than try and find a spot to throw it away and nail it into a big log over there and make a bench. Alright, I'm out fishing again, and I lost one fish already. It was kind of getting slow after that. So I'm going to go with something sort of dramatic. I have this big articulated streamer, and I'm actually going to tie onto that another big articulated streamer, hoping to get them angry and just strike out of aggression rather than out of wanting to eat. I bring this dried tomato powder, just rehydrate it with some water, and it's really good for pizzas. That's it, it's essentially rehydrated now. Add a little bit of hot sauce, and we're good to go. Oh yeah. I decided to come out for a evening paddle. There's so much light on the water. I don't know if you can see the moon behind me. That little dot to my right here, it's so huge. It's a perfect night.